Hey, folks. It's Jazz Sunday. Let's do it. Bicycles. How many bicycles? These fucking captchas. I can't stand them. Oh, not bicycles anymore. Let's look for fire hydrants now. Next, I want to look for boats. These fucking cocksuckers. Nothing? Are you a patron or a guest? Next, please, let me look at fucking airplanes. Select the crosswalks. You asshole. Yeah, best part about it is that the chat's still not working. I mean, it's working in here, but I have this Restream software that just has this thing, and it's not working. I don't know what the deal is. I know Polem's looking at it, because that's what Polem does. He's off today, so lucky us. We get to hang out a little bit, and we get to, you guys get your titles. I mean, obviously it's a lot better when he's around, right? Day what, 3 of gingivitis? I'm not sure. Still sucks. I feel better, but this shit lingers. It fucking sucks that it lingers this way. Somebody put in a message. Let's see if I can see messages here. There you are. Darn Z. It works. Look, Darn Z, you saved the day. Wanted to get a bunch of stuff done today, and I got absolutely nothing done. Because I knew, it's like if I start getting shit done, then it's going to be another miserable night. I don't know. Trying the best. See, this is frustrating me. Day 8. What the fuck is this day 8 shit? So I slept in, you know? I figured let me get the best sleep I can possibly get. It's really the only way to do it. Try to get out, you know, just... It's like a cold. I mean, you sleep, when you wake up you feel a bit better, so... I mean, it happens. It happened. Exactly like that, and, do I feel better? Yeah. Do I feel good? No. You know one of those dull headaches? It's almost like a hangover headache. Like you get just one of those dull headaches that doesn't want to go away, and you take the pills, and it's still there. I mean, my feeling is that you guys all know what I'm talking about anyway, so. Now I know what you're talking about. I look better, yeah. My wife said I sound better too. I got up and I was looking for a pair of shorts. You know how it is, right? When you get colds and stuff like that, the time where it starts feeling a lot better is like as soon as you shower. I mean, maybe you guys shower every day when you're sick. I fucking don't. It's like, what's the point? I'm sopping in sweat already, so I'm not going to go shower just so I can, like, start sweating 30 seconds after I come out of the shower, you know? You change your underwears, you change your fucking t-shirts, and you sweat through those, and then when all the sweating's done, then you take a bath, and usually that shower, for me, has always signified the end of my cold. But this isn't the end of the cold. I still feel like shit. So who knows how much sweating there is left to do. Ears hurt a little, you know? But whatever. Oh no, not I. I will survive. Look at Rachel. Feeling almost better on day 7. My wife says I sound better. I was looking for shorts. And I started yelling like I do. Where the fuck are the shorts? I got 15,000 pairs of shorts. I can't find a single pair. Other than these crusty shorts that I've been wearing for the last 3 days. And the reason I've been wearing them for the last 3 days is because I can't find the other fucking shorts. They're nowhere. My wife hides laundry. So she looks at my daughter, she says, oh, he must be feeling better. He's yelling. What are you supposed to say to that? All right. I guess I'm feeling better. All of you guys got to see me yell. Was it as glorious as you thought? Do you get all fucking... Do you get all uptight and tense when I start yelling? I'm not in moo stage yet, dude. I don't feel good. All right. Hey, pizza boy, how did you feel when I started yelling at you? Did I make you all nervous? when you were jumping all over my captain's chair like it was the pair of monkey bars at the fucking playground. You remember? Didn't get anything cleaned. Slowly going through some stuff now because it's Jazz Sunday, so we're not going to be doing any of the metal, you know? And just going to kind of go through the more jazz stuff, the more chilling stuff, that kind of thing. And I realized that a lot of it's not cleaned yet. I'd put it aside ready to get cleaned, and now I got to run through it. But we'll get there. This is one that I was very happy to have. Some Philip Glass. Glassworks. It's one of those records that, it's what we just heard. It's one of those records that I've seen over and over again and never owned on any format. Kept seeing copies, and they're not expensive. I mean, Philip Glass records can, they're not generally given away, but this one somehow it's everywhere, right? Kept seeing it, never picked it up. Started seeing new reissues of it, and it's like fucking $30-40 for reissues. I was like, fuck that. I've said no to this record 1,000 times when it was only $6 or $8, and here we are, you know? So, finally I found one in Albany, and it's like, yeah, this is coming home with me, so I just cleaned it. And loved it. Somehow, it's like, I knew I would like it. I don't know why it is that I didn't pick it up, but I think it's a great record. So I still got some of the jazz records that have to be cleaned, but I'm going to do it during the course of the show. To answer your question, Rachel, did I clean the Polo Montagnes? Yes. Right like 20 minutes ago. There's a stack of jazz records that I'm trying to get clean for the show that I took with me from Albany and I bought from Au 33 Tours, and I'm cleaning those as we go on. So yeah, that's now been cleaned. With more coming. I'm going to play you something that I saw at Au 33 Tours, never heard of before, and picked up immediately. If you guys ever see this record, Ribelle di Mare, it's an Italian soundtrack that's quite funky. It's quite chill. It's really amazing. It was cheap. $25. It's like, yeah, brand new? Fuck yeah, I'm taking this. I love my Italian soundtracks, like, love them. And when they talk about funky in Italian soundtracks, I know what that means. That usually means that you're going to get library-type music, and I'm all about library-type music. So, Ribelle di Mare, which is Rebels of the Sea. Ribelle di Mare is the story of Massimo, a debonair man of mystery returning to his humble coastal hometown of Mercury after years of living an indulgent playboy lifestyle. Seeking a simpler, humbler life, he longs to reconnect with his first teenage love, Rosalia, only to find that she has died years prior in a mysterious accident at sea. Soon enough, however, Massimo is visited by his long-lost lover's ghost. As the two reconnect and fall in love all over again. This is the original Ghost. He fell in love with his ghost. I wonder if they made pottery. As the two reconnect and fall in love all over again, Rosalia reveals that she can only stay with him on Earth for 2 weeks, but Rosalia makes Massimo an offer. At the end of the 2 weeks, he can choose to walk out into the ocean waters to die, trusting that in his next life he will be reunited with Rosalia for a blissful eternity. Or he can leave Mercury, where he lives, never to return, forgetting any memory of their love, to resume his life of fleeting pleasure and confusion. Just like a woman. If you want to be happy, you have to be willing to die for me. Throw yourself in the ocean. I promise, when you die, I'll be there. So, that's what we're going to listen to. Poor Massimo. Massimo, I just want you to know that she's giving you a raw deal. So, why don't we listen to a piece off of this while I don't know, go make the rest of these records clean up a little. And the records that I like are on the side have to be cleaned. They're records that have hung out in a record store for a while. So, you know, all that dust when you come home with a bunch of used records, all that dust. I've been living in that dust for the last week and a half. It's everywhere. On the other hand, you're going to like the record. If you like, let's say, Cortex. Those of you who know Cortex, I think you're going to like this. Check it out. Record is amazing. I've already played it twice. When you come home with 400 new records and you play one record twice, that's usually the sign that it's a good record. Can somebody please tell me who sent me this record? Monsoon Moods, Migrantes. It's awesome. anybody else really like drinking LaCroix? LaCroix? Jits, is it you that sent me this record? Who fucking sent me this record? Julio Cesar, are you a patron or a guest? I got a little bit of post-gingivitis energy, I can ask. Welcome our guest, Julio Cesar Silva. He will be our guest for the evening. Welcome, dude. I'm happy you're enjoying yourself. Where are you from, Julio? Down by the schoolyard? Okay, that was a bad joke. Brazil! Definitely like Brazil. Thank you for your subscription, Charlie. New guy. Are you new? It's the first time I see your name, dude. Yes, I'm familiar with Lassa de Sela. I have a Lassa de Sela record. Go check the archive. It's there. one of the reasons I'd like to know who sent it. Toby called it. It's a vibe. It's great. Listening to it, it makes me think that maybe Foster sent it. It sounds like the kind of record that he would send. But he's not here, so we can't confirm. When you guys send records, I put your names in the comments section, in the notes section of Discogs, so that I can remember who sent it, so that we can continue the conversation pretty much whenever I put the record on. So yeah, I don't know who sent this Monsoon Moods by Migrantes, but yeah, this is a winner to me. And I just noticed that it doesn't have an inner sleeve. Yeah, I could see Foster sending that too. That dude, man, he's young. It amazes me how much music he knows. We have a lot of young guys. I mean, the older ones, you kind of know why, right? Because we've been doing it our whole life. So, you can totally see why. You know, we can talk about this and that, but it's like I'm seeing more and more a lot of people in their 20s that have an absurd amount of knowledge. And he's one of those guys. Chubbs is the same way. Fucking Bangladesh. I mean, and we're all better for it, of course, right? Okay, I can tell you that the collection, the archive, would not be nearly as interesting if it wasn't for your picks. And when I say that, I don't mean like your picks of stuff that I already know. I mean the stuff that you guys pick that I don't know at all. That, to me, really, from a personal standpoint, what I enjoy about the show, that's the stuff that I really enjoy a lot. Playing the stuff that you guys got me into, right? Because, I'm the guy with the show. I'm supposed to be the expert. I'm telling you, there's no expert. It's just a long conversation. All it is that there's some people that have been in the conversation a long time. You know? And I hate to tell you, Jits, but you're one of the old ones. When I talk about the old ones, I mean you. I mean Rachel. I hate to say it to you, Rachel, but you're one of the old ones. Toby, you're one of the old ones. Guys don't fucking mind being called old, though. Girls, maybe not so much. Thanks for your tip, Darnsey. Appreciate it. Technology absolutely changed the game. That's exactly what the difference is, the internet. We had to buy our records to know it. Depending on how old you are kind of thing, but people in their 40s and up, you had to pretty much buy the stuff or you knew radio stuff. That's it. New guys instead, god damn. It's insane. It's really cool. I like being taught by young folk. I do. I like being introduced to stuff by young folk. It's just the best. Or you learned music through movies. You're not wrong there. Exactly. But that was the choice. You bought your records, you learned it through movies, or radio. And if you had radio, it was the same fucking songs over and over again. What's going on, singer-songwriter? I saw you come in like yesterday or something. You're new here, aren't you? New folk, I'm happy to have you. Welcome. This is Jazz Sunday, for those of you who don't know. We broadcast from Wednesdays to Sunday. Wednesday to Saturday is pretty much anything goes. Sunday, I chill it out. So welcome to our chill out day. We are all nothing now. Sending us tip and song request at any time or just certain shows? No, you can send a song request anytime you want. There's a little bit of difference on Jazz Sunday, though. Jazz Sunday, I'm not going to play metal. Completely ironic, considering I got a buttload of metal that just came into the collection. But Sunday's a chill day. I turned on the Zoom for you guys that want to hang out. Don't take it you guys know, don't take nothing personal. I like my alone time. That's not about you. I was like that before you ever fucking came along. These people will take it all personal. You know? post-Montreal glow is still there. Now, you tip, we are all nothing now. Dude, it shows you haven't been around in a while. All you got to do is when you tip, it shows up on the screen, but we have a copy of it, okay? So we do see an entire list of the songs that are requested. So don't worry. No, you're not being demanding, dude. You just don't know how it works. You just fucking tipped me, yes or no? In other words, I like you. In other words, you're part of this. I consider it a complete privilege to be able to introduce you to new music, to be able to really turn on the lights here and provide you with like 4 or 5 hours of community where you're with a bunch of people who are fucking nerds. People know their music here. I'm telling you. The worst thing you can do when it's happened, the arrogant ones. They come in and they pretend right away, they start acting like they know everything. And it's like, dude, that's not going to work here. I promise, just don't, because this is, in my estimation, and I've been doing music groups since 97, okay? I first got on the internet in 1997, and I've been part of music groups ever since. Just back then, they were news groups. When you had your email software, the email software came with a news group section too, and there were a bunch of different news groups that you can join. So that's how long my music thing's been going on the internet, you know? And I can say honestly, I mean proudly, that in all the time that I've been part of dozens and dozens and dozens of music groups online, this is the best music group on the net. Would I be opposed to playing Devendra Banhart? No, not at all, dude. I'll play that for you if you want it. Just put it in. I say it's the best music group that I've ever been a part of. And I mean, honestly, the fact that I put it together doesn't surprise me either. If anybody's going to know, it's going to be me. I've done it long enough. And I care about it long enough. It's not something that's just a fly-by-night thing. This is my life. This is my passion. Hanging out with you guys, talking music, literally, this is the only thing I want to do in my life. Nothing makes me happier than hanging out with you. Because I know that I'm not talking nonsense with you people. You guys are all nerds. You're all music people. The conversation never ends. It goes from one place to another. And you know what it is that makes a music nerd? A music nerd isn't somebody who's hardcore into whatever they're into. That's not the music nerds to me. A music nerd is a person who can just hang around and listen to a variety of conversations about art and listen to stuff that they don't know. So it's not, stuff outside of what they know and still enjoy it. And that's what we offer here. It's not the conversations that you already know you can be a part of that are going to catch you. That's not why you become a patron. You become a patron for the shit that you don't know, in my opinion. And with complete respect to those of you who are really the old heads, and I'm talking about Toby and Rachel and Jits, I know that you've come across a ton of new stuff here. That makes me proud. Because considering what you guys already knew before we ever crossed paths, it makes me happy. Same thing with Trucker. So guests, new people, welcome. Know that you've stumbled upon something special. We've been doing this for years now. I've been doing it since 97, but if you're new here, you are our guest. Please know that everybody in this community, and you'll probably get the feeling really quick, we all know each other here. Many of us have met up in Montreal just last week. In March, we met up in San Francisco. We are absolutely family. And we're happy to have you as our guest. If you like what we do, I trust that you'll come back tomorrow. and become a patron. Chats for patrons. So in other words, it's kind of like drugs. Imagine a really addictive drug. Okay, or just imagine a drug, just generally. Okay? Consider me your pusher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the first sample. The first sample's free. That's now. Your guests. If you like it, you're going to come back for your second sample. You're going to come back and you're going to say, can I have another sample? Fuck no, you got to be a patron. Thankfully, it's the cheapest drug in the world. You can become a patron for as little as $2 or $5 a month. Why do you do that, Sam? Because it keeps the garbage out, dudes. The people that are here, you know they want to be here. And it's not $2 or $5 a month that's going to keep them out. It's not $2 or $5 a month that's going to make them complain. So it's a system that's worked. And we hope that you new guys go through this entire thing and decide, hey, you know what? I get the vibe. I get why everyone hangs out, why people actually become patrons for it. And if you don't get it, it's okay. You can be a guest. You can still listen every day. For free. I'm okay with it. Just chats for patrons. So we ask you to respect that. But guests are guests, and we have guests here all the time. And guests always wind up becoming patrons. The real ones do. And you can spot the real ones. You can, I'm telling you. You can see when somebody's engaged. That's why we want patrons, because we want the audience to be an audience of choice. We want the audience to be engaged. But Sam, how can you get popular? Popularity is not the point. I'd rather be with 50 people that I know and love than with 5,000 or 5 million people that I don't. It's a choice. I don't like big concerts in stadiums. I like small concerts in little clubs where you can hear the ice cubes clink in the glass. That's what I like. So, let's see if you guys dig it, you know? And yeah, I do a lot of talking. Please know that I'm not going to change the show for you new people. The show's going to continue to be exactly what it is. If you dig it, you become part of it. If you don't dig it, hey, man. My guess is that there are other Twitch channels. Are there other Twitch channels you can go to? It's possible? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Change the channel. You won't hurt my feelings. I'm okay. Oh, no, but I lost a viewer. Don't worry about it. We'll be all right. Why don't I play you a record that I have seen a million times, and if those of you who collect vinyl have seen it a million times also. As a matter of fact, my guess would be that many of you longtime collectors have already picked up a copy. Jazz is a really weird idiom. Some artists cost a lot, other artists don't. If you want to buy John Coltrane records, it's going to cost you. Miles Davis records are going to cost you. I don't understand why. But somehow Jimmy Smith records, certain Jimmy Smith records, you can get them on the cheap. Blue Notes are a little bit more expensive. Verve was kind of like the pop music because that's where it is that we get a lot of vocal stuff. But Verve was kind of like the label that tried to get to the common man, you know? And Jimmy Smith was on that label, and I mean, he's brilliant. So I'm not really certain why the records are as cheap as they are, but they are. If you ever see The Cat, I'm going to play you a track, and you guys can see yourself if you decide to pick it up. Me, I saw a copy after years of just letting it go by. This was nice and clean. I liked the fact that the jacket felt substantive. It's a good, heavy jacket, you know? Gatefold. $6. Fucking right. Okay, I'm in. So I picked it up in Albany, and here we are. Now it's been cleaned. Mahavishnu Orchestra. Is that pricey vinyl-wise? Mahavishnu Orchestra is stuff that's fairly available, but Mahavishnu Orchestra is kind of the rock and roll of jazz. So you're going to see a lot of it around because it sold a lot. I mean, that kind of shit was selling like 500,000 copies back then, you know? But you can find that stuff anywhere. No, it's not the expensive stuff. The rock/jazz that all those old white prog heads go for, old white prog head, male, 50s up, that shit's not expensive. You'll find it everywhere. What's the other band with Chick Corea in it? What are the other bands that came out during that time? But yeah, all of that prog jazz kind of thing, yeah, you won't ever have any trouble finding it, and it'll never be expensive. Return to Forever is exactly who it is that I was thinking of. Return to Forever, yeah. Weather Report, that's the other one. All of the bands that these guys are naming, that's all the shit that you're going to find everywhere. You know why? Because that's the crossover stuff. That's the stuff that basically Miles Davis invented. Miles Davis put out fucking Bitches Brew, changed everything. Introduced this kind of music to a white audience, to the festival audience, and fucking broke it open for a bunch of people. For the Weather Reports, for the Return to Forevers, for the Mahavishnu orchestras. Billy Cobham was similar, yeah, but now you're going to start going into the separate names, yeah. So those records are absolutely everywhere. I call it like white guy jazz. Fusion is white guy jazz. Those white guys that tell you that they love fusion, can I tell you something? If you look through their collection, you're going to find more prog in their collection than you will jazz. Generally speaking. They're not jazz fans. They're prog fans. Fusion is just another type of prog. I mean, of course, there's the people who like everything. Absolutely everything. So, but my experience has been, and I mean, being 52 years old, I've been around a lot of these people. Whenever it is that somebody says, hey, do you like jazz fusion? Do you like fusion? I already know that I'm not going to be having a jazz conversation with them. I'm going to be having a prog rock conversation with them. And this has happened dozens and dozens of times. Is it a bad thing? No, it's an observation. Don't expect these guys to have Charlie Parker records. You know what I'm saying? They might. I mean, I do. Yeah, Red Savage, it's kind of like, as far as the fans are concerned, the demographic, it's definitely more of a rock subgenre. Fusion is the jazz that a bunch of old white guys listened to, even if they don't have any other jazz. Chances are their brother used to listen to it. Chances are their brother went to a festival. All this shit started in the late 60s and continued way into like maybe 75, 76. The fusion era, obviously it continued way beyond that and we're still seeing it. But the big fusion era, 69 to 75, 76. White guys aside, it's still a good entry point for jazz. A nice easy bridge from Crimson to Mingus. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I mean, you know that I'm not knocking it. I'm just telling you that my considerable experience having many conversations about jazz and rock and that kind of stuff over the decades, the white guy who comes to me and says, hey, do you like fusion? He's there to have a conversation about rock and roll. Pretty soon, I promise he's going to start talking about Jimi Hendrix. I promise he will. He's going to start talking about Led Zeppelin before he starts talking about Charles Mingus. Promise. Side aid. Yeah, Jits, I'll do that for you. Love you, girl. I'm curious, you new guys that are listening to this, how do you feel about the fact, like the conversational part of the show, right? I'm trying to think of the people who have joined our show for the first time or second time. The singer-songwriter, for example. They catch a show, they don't know what this is about, you know? How do you feel when you hear me just talk about a bunch of this stuff and not get straight to the music? Is it frustrating? It's like, why is he talking so much? I'm curious. I promise it's not going to change. And perhaps if it did change, I don't know, be more popular, I don't fucking know. I don't care. Why do I do this? Because I want to have a conversation with people about music. That's what I love. The conversation is an enormous part. I am feeling a lot better for those of you who are asking about the gingivitis, like a ton better. Not there yet, though. It's dragging. My head's still all stuffy, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. So I'm finally beginning to think of Montreal and the weekend we spent together. That was amazing. I love it. The thing that makes me happy the most is when I see that a bunch of you, because when we have these meetings, I mean, in San Francisco, there were over 20 of us. There were 24 of us in San Francisco. All people who have mostly not met. In that entire gang, there were just a few pockets of people that had already met each other, but for the most part, we all met each other for the first time. Montreal, there were half of us that already met each other kind of thing, but before that, half of the people here never met each other. To me, my greatest pride is when I see all of these people meeting, and I mean, they know each other from the show, from what we do here, but in terms of purpose, together, I mean, like, you know, in the real same room and stuff, it's the first time. And my greatest pleasure is seeing all of these people just get along. Everyone got along. It was awesome. The typical path to quote-unquote real jazz, if you're going to get, like, you know, the 101, is 1959. Whenever people ask me what albums, 1959. You go there, it's a start. If you like that, you're going to go in a bunch of different directions. And 1959 gave you enough great records to take you in many different branches of jazz. Ornette Coleman, of course, The Shape of Jazz to Come. All right. Let me go see about cleaning another few records. I'm going to play you some Jimmy Smith, okay? This is the Chicago theme. I will absolutely get to your requests. They're coming. We got time. Thanks for hanging out. Baby. I'm going to play you another Jimmy Smith, okay? Something off an album called Groove Drops that I've been looking for a while. Actually, I'm pretty sure that the albums by hip-hop artists or like acid jazz artists, I'm pretty sure I've seen albums or compilations called Groove Drops. And my guess is that it comes from this record here. This is a radio copy. Also on the Verve label. I'm going to play you the title track while I go clean some more records and get that out. I'm going to need to see that Devendra Banhart cover. I may be lost in the stacks right now, but slowly going to get to your requests, folks. Hope you're having a good one. double shot of Jimmy Smith. Not terrible, eh? Especially for those of you who are hearing this stuff, you know, and are familiarizing yourself with like vinyl and jazz and all the rest of this. And you see the crazy prices of vinyl. This is the kind of thing that should make you happy. These records, Verve records especially, I think because tons of them were sold, just affordable. It's nice to have affordable wax. So I came home with a bunch of them from Albany. This is another one, Wes Montgomery. I've been saying that I need more Wes Montgomery records. I have a bunch of Grant Green, but somehow I didn't have enough Wes. I got tons of Gabor Szabo. You guys know me and my love for Gabor Szabo. Anybody want to request? I'm gonna use your tip, Darns, to play some Gabor Szabo. How does that sound? And we're gonna look for Devendra Banhart. I have to find the record. Just have to see the cover. I'm hoping I find it, Jits. Wynton Kelly Trio is what we're gonna listen to now. Yeah, okay, I know. I'm pretty sure I know where that is. That's right in the box here. I can get that. Wynton Kelly Trio, featuring Wes Montgomery on guitar. This dude's licks are freaking tasty. Really quite good. And these live records, these guitarists, just so you know, like if you guys really want to hear these guitarists cook, catch the live records. Grant Green live records, live at the Lighthouse. Wes Montgomery live records, you want that shit. It's so good. Patrick Montreal spotted Glassworks. Yeah, baby. I knew that you would spot it of all things. Finally, it took me a while. I started seeing reissues at Au 33 Tour for like $45. Like, fuck that. I've seen this record a million times. It's Philip Glass's most popular record, and so I finally picked it up last week. In any case, I'm going to give you some guitar jazz, okay? We heard some organ jazz. Now let's do some guitar jazz. And I'm going to go back to organ jazz. I'm going to play you some Jimmy McGriff off a record called Stump Juice. The thing that sold me most, besides the fact that I'm a huge Jimmy McGriff fan, is I love the names of his albums. Stump Juice. It's beautiful. You can imagine it. You can taste it. Taste this for now. Wes Montgomery. Live. All right. You're going to recognize the next one. I promise you're going to recognize the next one. This is the kind of stuff I like playing every once in a while to kind of get people who are fresh to jazz into the vibe, you know? Guitar jazz, easy way to get jazz newbies into it. Organ jazz, because that shit's kind of like got the groove, you know? Not necessarily challenging. It swings. Different. This one will swing. I'd like to, after this song, I'd like to talk about our next California trip. Where are my California friends? You feel like planning another trip? Who's got room for me to sleep? Gypsy jazz, baby. Nice, right? This is the first Gabor Szabo record I bought. Yeah. My love of Gabor Szabo started basically 10 years ago. And it really started with my love of Light in the Attic Records, the label. They were putting out a bunch of records that I really liked, like D'Angelo's Voodoo. What's the record that I play all the time? Fucking Lou Bond. Just a bunch of the Serge Gainsbourg reissues. They were just kill. It's a label that I really like a whole lot, you know? So I would buy pretty much everything from the label, and I kind of still do. It's an extremely well-curated label with good liner notes and very well-pressed records. So when I hook onto a label and like what they do, I'll generally go deep into it, you know? So this is kind of like the beginning of my love affair with Light in the Attic Records. So I would pretty much, again, buy anything, and this one was there. And it's like, okay, well, what is that? Jazz Raga. Jazz with sitar in it already, that's immediately something that I like. And I mean, I bought the record and loved it immediately. Eventually tracking down an original copy, which is what we have here. Found this one in Los Angeles, California. You see? Who's the sitar player? I'm looking. Bernard Purdie on drums. Yes, the godfather of the Purdie Shuffle, the inventor of the Purdie Shuffle, is on drums. I do not see... The sitar is Gabor Szabo himself. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Gabor Szabo plays plays his own sitar. Cool. But I had forgotten that Bernard Purdie was on drums. I don't know if Uma's here. But during one of the later days that we did the Montreal trip, like on the third day type of thing, people went out on their own, you know? I was burnt out because I'd been in Saratoga, all the rest, so I stuck around. And, you know, Uma was on my place, so I can't just like I told her, listen, dude, if you want, you know, if you want to go hang out with them, like, I mean, go ahead, but it's like I'm not coming. I need a night to just fucking chill out, you know? Turns out that she's kind of like the chill out type too, so she decided to stick around rather than go out on more adventures. You know? Like, I don't need a lot of adventure in my life. There's such a thing as too much adventure for me. When I talk about my next trip to California, it's not because I'm going there looking to fucking zip line. It's just another couch I'm going to sit on. I'm going to smoke pot with another bunch of people and listen to music and play records and eat food. That's it. That's the excitement for me. But I gave away a bunch of records. There's a pile of doubles that keeps getting shorter, smaller, and smaller, you know? But there was one record that I've been hanging on to for a good while, which I should play, maybe. We're going to go back to Bernard Purdie. It's a record from Hall & Oates called Abandoned Luncheonette. This is before all their big hits. The song She's Gone is on it. This is a record that's available in dollar bins everywhere. And I told her, fuck, you got to listen to this. But I wanted to make sure that I played it, and it's kind of like, I don't like the idea of just giving someone a record and then it kind of becomes, you know, it's a lot better when you give someone a record and they play it. The best way to get someone to play a record you gave them, play it for them. Introduce them to it. So maybe we'll go there. What do you want to listen to first? Do you want some jazz, some organ jazz? Or do you want Turkish village music first? You're getting both. Shin Jun Hyun. Fucking right. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of light in the attic I go for. Yeah. I love him. Great Korean guitarist. We're going to be playing that. Jaco Pastorius. Sure. So, should we listen to Turkish village music first, or should we listen to jazz funk first? Organ jazz. So, I'm already beginning to think of when the next trip will be. I've already mentioned more than once that we're going to do Minneapolis. I'm looking at doing Minneapolis in May. Sometime in May. Maybe beginning June. I want to plan a lot of these trips during times where it's like travel season. It's not around the holiday. I want it to be during the low periods, you know? Airfare is cheaper. So, I'm looking at May maybe for Minneapolis. We're going to catch that. However, I do have the itch. And now, I mean, with the traveling and all of this, I'm pretty sure, I've made friends everywhere. So we've got a bunch of people here and there type of thing. And I've been to, different areas in California, 3-4 times now over the last few years. So I've developed a good crew of people that I know. Toby lives there. Rachel lives there. Fucking Jits, Nelson, Janice, Jason, Incarnate lives there. Like, so many people live there. So, and California is a big ass place, so plenty to visit. I've said more than once, actually, Hippie Matt, Hippie Sarah. I've said more than once that one of the priorities that I want to do, Seattle, Portland's going to happen. I like doing that, dude. Scott, you can count on it. One of the things that is kind of a priority to me is being able to see Jits. I absolutely want to see Jits. I adore her. I love her kid. And it's more difficult for her to travel. So I want to bring it to her. Now, the fact that she lives in California makes that really easy. And you guys are going to have to kind of figure out the logistics for me, because you know this shit, I don't. I'm somebody who decides I'm going here. And when I decide that I go somewhere, very often it's not because of the location necessarily, but it's also because I want to visit people. So, the entire point of the next trip, we got to see Jits. We're bringing it to her. How many of you live near her? What can we do near where she is? Do any of you have a home near there? Is there anywhere I could crash? Because, you guys know what I do, right? Vinyl Junkies on the road from California is not going to be a difficult thing. We able to do kind of like a thing at Rachel and Toby's, maybe? And we can make a week of it. That's it. And I'm thinking that we can do that in November. When's Thanksgiving? After Thanksgiving, when nobody's traveling anymore. Not the Thanksgiving weekend, that's for fucking sure. Okay, well, if you're 4 hours from Jits, then that all of a sudden makes some sense. As long as you're willing to drive the 4 hours. And she's probably willing to drive too, So we're going to be able to spend time together. So I'm thinking about a California trip sometime after American Thanksgiving. When is American Thanksgiving? I don't know. Is it November or is it October? So, let me know if you guys are up for that. A California thing can be good. The other option, fourth Thursday in November. Okay, yeah, that's no good. The other option is January. I actually quite like the option of January too, because it takes me out of the fucking miserable cold. Nah, dude. I'm not gonna bring Dre and Sophia. Dre, we don't. It's work. It's work. It's pleasure. It's work. It's not the family vacation. Family vacation is around high travel season. What I'd like to do with them is go off for a week in the sun. That's the kind of thing we do. But if I do Dre and Sophia don't want to do our thing. They're not record people. They're not into the same things I am. Does that make sense? But wait a second, you married her. It's like, yeah, so? We get along great, but we do different things. And I think Sophia likes the shit her mom does more than me. Rachel sent over some gift certificates to what I hear is a very good nail salon. How did you even get those gift certificates? For my wife and for Sophia. So they're going to be taking them. By the way, they're really happy about it. You know? So the vacation that I plan to take with Andre and Sophia is probably go lie down on a beach somewhere like a Bacala. And that week I would be completely off. No shows, no on the roads, no nothing. I'd be off. All right. I'm going to play you some Turkish village music. Nobody answered, so I guess I'm going to answer for myself. Anybody here would be able to make a January California trip? Yeah, it's, does it mean we don't get along? No, it's just we're into different things. That's it. We're very different in a lot of ways. You know one of the big things that works between Andre and me? We love each other for who we are. We love and support and accept everything. My wife, her main priority for me is she just wants me to be happy. That's love. So you marry for that. That's the real shit. Well, you don't have to read the same books necessarily, listen to the same music. Could it help? Of course it could help. But my first wife was way more artsy-fartsy than Andre is. That marriage lasted 14 months. I'll take Andre every fucking day and twice on Sunday. So yeah, maybe January would be okay. After Christmas. I don't know what area of California. They're going to have to decide. I don't even know where Jiu-Jitsu lives. The whole point of this is you guys can come whenever you like. I mean, you guys are. Whenever I do these things that I go here or there, you guys are always welcome. Okay? The idea is that we go hang out in a certain spot and whoever can make it comes. And I haven't seen Jits a single time. So to me, that's going to be a priority. I have to hang out with her. I have to do mushrooms with her. I have to smoke some pot. I have to go hang around with Hunter. January would probably work for me. Mid-January or something, Late January. Get me out of the cold. All right. So that's the plan. You guys can start talking. You guys can start planning. Tell me where it is that I got to get off the plane. Tell me where I'm sleeping. Let's see if we can't put together a week. We can put together a week. Yeah, well, Hippie Matt and Hippie Sarah goes without say. Wherever Jits is, Hippie Matt and Hippie Sarah will be there too. That's what I mean. If we do it, they're all going to be there. So start planning it. Look at it. Look at 7 days. Rachel, I used to talk to Toby all the time. Now all of a sudden fucking Rachel became part of this Vinyl Junkies thing, and it's just, I'm talking to her all the time. She's the family representative. I'm going to need somewhere to crash. Can we do a show at your place? A Vinyl Junkies on the road? Are you guys going to be able to take time off or no? All I want to do is hang out, smoke pot, go to record stores, eat good food, and play records. Doesn't have to be more exciting than that. Like, that's a vacation for me, you know? The fact that it's through Vinyl Junkies makes it so that it's also work. I do that on purpose. Capiche? So Miss October looks like Miss October might be able to show up too. I think Camille is from there too. Gonna be able to catch a bunch of people. Jason would probably show up. All right. So much talking. I've scared off all the newbies. The newbies are listening to this. This isn't entertaining at all. It's not for me at all. Yeah. Told you, it's a different type of radio show. We've hung out together. We know each other. We've been together. Everyone here is a patron. It's a really cool freaking community to be part of. So cool that we go out of our way to meet each other and spend weekends together and that kind of thing. So, guests, I hope that you're enjoying it. If you are, you'll become patrons. And if you become patrons, hey, next time we'll be talking about you as part of these plans as well. All right. Some Turkish village music is what I'm going to play next. Bangladesh, my beautiful Bangladesh, is who sent this one. He came by with a record, and this was it. He goes, I don't know if you like this. Like, that's kind of a stupid question. You know that I'm going to like this. This is a record on the Nonsuch label. They have, Nonsuch put out a lot of electronic experimental stuff. Actually, some of the earliest Moog experiments and electronic experiments happened on Nonsuch. They've done a lot of classical music, and they've done a lot of international music, like folk music from different parts of the world. So the series that focuses on folk music from different parts of the world is called the Explorer series. And I pick up as many of these as I can. One of the big draws is the music's great, they're super well recorded, and they're affordable. These are affordable records. Sometimes you'll find them in the dollar bins, depending on your record store. So, this was recorded in Turkey. My guess is sometime in the 70s. But I am not seeing a date. Maybe the 60s. We're going to find out. Tell me what you think.
Hey! Işığı yana kadar da kapında durdum.
Işığı yana kadar da kapında durdum.
Üşümedim ama da belamı buldum.
Üşümedim ama da belamı buldum.
Aç kapıyı gelin de yanına geldim.
Aç kapıyı gelin de yanına geldim.
Yanına gelmenin de sırası değil.
Yanına gelmenin de sırası değil.
Yanına gelmenin de oy oy.
Gelin oy oy. Sırası değil.
Üzüm sepetini de indirdim düze.
Üzüm sepetini de indirdim düze.
Yalvardım yakardım da getirdim söze.
Yalvardım yakardım da getirdim söze.
Kim müşterin olmuş da sevdiğim kıza.
Kim müşterim olmuş da sevdiğim kıza.
İşte öyle böyle de dünyanın hali.
İşte öyle böyle de dünyanın hali.
Gelin edeceksin de bu kadar malı.
Gelin edeceksin de bu kadar mala. Al
Gelin
varçı.
edeceksin oy oy. Ne güzel oy oy. Bu kadar malı.
Here's some Jimmy McGriff, Stump Juice. Yeah, baby. That's the stuff right there. Jimmy McGriff. I've now reached a point with Jimmy McGriff records where it's like I ask myself, do I really need another one? Well, last week I decided I needed another one, so here it is. That tune was called Pisces, I think. Or was that tune called Stump Juice? Which one? I don't fucking remember. In any case, I've purchased enough Jimmy McGriff records and CDs to know what to expect when I get it, you know, and that's why I ask myself, I was like, do I need another Jimmy McGriff record? Because you know what you're going to get, and it's always going to be good. At least that's been my experience up to now. I got more fuego for you. Oh, yeah. I promise we're not going to run out of records. New folk, are you enjoying it? How was your first Jazz Sunday? Anybody here enjoying the Jazz Sunday for the very first time? Is this new? During the week, anything goes. Sunday, we chill it all out. I have a set coming up from Patrick. He wants some Jaco Pastorius. He wants some Philip Glass. We will do this. Before that, I'm going to circle back to this record that I wanted to make sure I put in the right hands. Now, why is that? Because I love this record. That's basically the only reason. Hall & Oates, Abandoned Luncheonette. Not an expensive record, so what makes it so special? It's an amazing record. And Bernard Purdie is on drums. Bernard Purdie is known for the Purdie Shuffle. You're going to hear it all over the record. Now, this is a $2 record. This is a dollar store record. You're not going to pay more than $5 anywhere for this. But I bought my last copy. I bought my last copy as a double for $2 because I couldn't bear to leave it in the bin at $2. I couldn't. It's like I'm going to find somebody that's going to want this. But I want to make sure that I give it to somebody who appreciates it. And I've had it for years. I've had my double for years. And Uma wound up walking off with it. Pizza Boy bought it, I know. Because he's heard me tell this story before. Why did Uma wind up with it? Because while everybody was out gallivanting in Montreal and I was chilling, kind of just taking it easy, Uma, again, did the same thing. So we smoked pot and we listened to music. And this is one of the records I played. So I played it. That's the first thing. And secondly, I had to make sure that she even dug it. So I had the conversation and she dug it. And she's the type of person who, it's not how much a record costs. The sentimentality of it, the story behind it, all of that stuff. And I know her taste. So if you guys ever see this record, it's going to be in the cheap bin. I urge you to pick it up if you like. It's so chill. It's so good. The big tune on it is She's Gone, which is one of my favorite Hall & Oates tunes. But what I figured I'd do is I'd play you just song 1 on the album. You're going to hear all sorts of Bernard Purdie shuffle happening, and you're going to hear immediately why it's such a vibe. When did this record come out? 73 or something? 75 maybe? In any case, it's called Abandoned Luncheonette. I'm playing you the very first tune. 77? Okay. When the Morning Comes. Joe Farrell on the oboe. Nice. Look at that. Give this a listen. 73? Okay. Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs on the album too, Big Ed. Big Ed, you're not a patron anymore. Why'd you leave?
I went downtown to see my lady. She stood me up and I stood there waiting. It'll be be alright when the morning comes. Now I'm up in the air with the rain in my hair. I got nowhere to go, I can go anywhere. It'll be alright when the morning comes. Just a passing, I'm not asking that you be anyone but you. When you come home, try to come home alone. It's so much better with two. Now I'm out in the cold and I'm getting old, standing here waiting on you. It'll be alright when the morning comes. When the morning comes. When the morning comes. Just a passing, I'm not asking that you be anyone but you. When you come home, try to come home alone. It's so much better with two. Now I'm out in the cold and I'm getting old, standing here waiting on you. It'll be alright when the morning comes. When the morning comes. It'll be alright when the morning comes. When the morning comes.
Great, right? I think so. Yeah, Big Ed, I see you as cancelled on June 6th. I was surprised too. Please understand, I'm not offended or anything. I mean, if it's not your vibe, it's okay. If you can't afford it right now, that's okay too. But, you know. The patronage is important, though. Maybe it's one of those things that's worth it only for free. I mean, for many people it is. Somebody tried to give me shit yesterday about the patronage. It was the auto renew for next year, yeah. Yeah, but dude, listen, the thing with me, I'm not going to be offended by that kind of thing either, man. It's... people come and go. But it was surprising, you know? And the thing is, you know, credit cards, whatever, it's just... I don't worry about it so much. But I do keep track. Who's Mr. Fay? Is Mr. Fay here? Who's Mr. Fay? Valongoria? Mr. Fay. Who are you? Patron 658 is who you are. Superior creature. Always makes me happy when people dig what we do enough to want to be a part of it. Please understand that an enormous part of this for me with patrons is that it's affordable. I want it to be affordable. I do. I want it to be so affordable that people who don't have money can afford it. You know why? Because when they do join, it's because they want to be there, because they think it's worth it. That's the point. You create an audience that wants to be there. And I think I like it. So will the price go up? The price won't go up. It's always do what you can. But you want to make sure that somebody does it. Because the kind of person who's not willing to give you $2 a month to be a part of something that he enjoys or she enjoys, that's not the kind of person that you want around. Because that person will take from everybody. You don't want to be around takers. And if you give and you have any respect for yourself and you value what you do, you don't want to just give it away either. The entire thing was worked. We've met a lot of good people, and now it looks like we're going to be seeing each other in mid-January. Not after the new year, the mid-January is what what it is that I'm looking at. So, California, let's get her going. What do you say? Why don't I play a double shot from a local member and one of my favorite new members, Patrick Montreal. Why? The dude requests stuff that other people don't request. I like it. He's definitely got a certain type of request that he puts in, and I like it every time, and it's, for our community, it's like, oh, okay, that's a Patrick Montreal request. By now, you guys who have been around, you know JITS. You know what a JITS request is. You know what a Chris request is. You know after a while. Trucker, when he puts in a request, yeah, it's your personality. It's your flair. So why don't we listen to some Philip Glass that's going to be coming up. Before that, I'm going to play you some Jaco Pastorius. This dude, man. Very, very big, influential bassist. Played with Joni Mitchell. Used to just have his thumb. They used to go way, way, way, way back. So much so, people were so influenced. You've heard already that, like, there were people back in the day of Charlie Parker. Charlie Parker was a notorious heroin addict. There were people, there were disciples of Charlie Parker who so worshipped him, who so wanted to sound like him, that they thought that if they did heroin too, they would maybe catch on to what he was doing, which of course ended in tragedy. Jaco Pastorius, his thumb could bend back at an inhuman angle. So what people would start doing, this is bassists, would sometimes break their fucking thumb. Crazy, right? But yeah, we're going to listen to some Jaco, and then we're going to go into some Philip Glass, and a bunch of other things. What can I get you? Are there tunes that you'd like to hear? We were going to be hearing an entire side of Devendra Banhart. If you see anything in the archive, pick yourself a song. It's a cheap thrill, you know? I like that. Vinyl Junkies, providers of cheap thrills. My favorite places on earth, you know what they are? The little shitty holes in the wall that have the best stuff but are always cheap. Those are my favorite places. Record stores, bookshops, restaurants. The hole-in-the-wall restaurants, I love them. Fucking love them. Cheap, delicious. So, in doing what I do, I think I like that too. You know? Cheap thrill. Accessible to everybody. If you want to be here. Here's Jaco. Time to say goodbye. Come join us on Twitch.